Well, hello there. Welcome to the
Universe.
All the things are here.
All of it.
Everything.
Vampires are here.
Oh my goodness, so many vampires.
They're all here. Hi, my name is Samuel.
And I'm Sam.
I have glasses.
I don't. We are here to talk about the new Morbius trailer, the most recent one.
Yeah, I believe it's official trailer 2, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
What did you think about the Morbius trailer, official trailer 2?
I am very excited. I like that it's a different direction.
Sure.
I feel like Marvel, especially, and luckily this is Sony, but Marvel's kind of gotten stale in a lot of ways. I mean, Shang-Chi was really good, but again, there were some Marvel tropes in there that I was just like, that was, no.
And we're seeing Eternals tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Watch that video later.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see something new. I love, like, classic monster movies type stuff. And not that that's what this is, but I love vampires, werewolves. I think the macabre can be really fun.
It's a shame it's not coming out like in October that we're randomly getting this like spookier, more horror-esque vampire
Is it
film
February or March?
in January, I think.
January?
Yeah, it's sometime in Q1 of 2022, but kind of missed the window.
Which is such an odd time, but from what I've read, I thought a lot of movies, they like to release movies they don't think are going to be successful, and I didn't think about it till this moment. But in Q1, they'll just be like, "Oh, here's these other."
I was
movies.
talking to my wife on the way home from work today, and I mentioned that I was like, I think it's weird that Morbius is being released in like January, because we just don't really release movies in January.
That, like I said, it's movies that they don't think are going to be as successful. Which I hope that's not the reasoning for it, because I think Jared Leto's a phenomenal actor. When I saw it and I realized like he's almost 50, and it's like, are you an actual vampire?
Yeah, he's doing the most in this trailer. I think in the parts that we see, he does a really good job of balancing his two different characters. This very Jekyll and Hyde-esque thing of when he's playing the doctor, the man, he is very kind and very subdued and kind of awkward. But then when you see him kind of in his animalistic Morbius form a few times, you're like, that's actually genuinely kind of scary.
Yeah, and it's like scary, but also really cool. I like the way that, because I mean, once you've had the Twilight movies where it's like these vampires. The only reason my wife has been watching these, okay, maybe I watch them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's been watching these lately, and so that's why it's on my mind. But it's like, what terrible vampires. I mean, Stephanie Meyer, props to her for being a good writer and for at least getting famous and all these things. But anyways,
the vampires are not interesting.
They're not
in Twilight, and they're like the main thing. But this vampire more towards like the man-bat kind of thing. Not quite all the way in that direction.
He can kind of be, from what it looks like, he can be somewhere in between that. He can be like the full-fledged vampire Morbius, or he can kind of utilize his powers as looking more human. But I mean, I think that's cool. I like that idea of almost becoming like the Hulk, where you give in to something completely, you know?
Yeah, and I have more hope for this than Venom. I mean, we saw Let There Be Carnage.
I liked it. I thought it was fun, but I mean, I also didn't like the first movie. I know a lot of people did, but that's fine. But like,
it had some weird tonal problems, and I don't like the design of Venom very much. Where I think the design of Morbius looks a lot.
It's really cool.
Better.
Like, I'm not excited, like, even necessarily because it connects to the bigger universe. I just think that it's a cool idea. Even though I do feel like we've had a lot of vampire overload, I feel like Morbius is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah. My hope is that, I don't know who's directing it. Do you know who the director is?
I actually don't know who's directing it. We'll put it here.
Yeah, we'll put it here, because I was going to look it up, but I don't remember. Based on the trailer, I'm really hoping we do give into more of these like horror elements.
Yeah.
And give into more of the macabre, because vampires can be very cool and very scary. Yeah. And when you see that scene in the trailer in like the hallway and like the guys gets like ripped up out of the ceiling, like into the ceiling, that kind of stuff, I'm like, yes, if we don't give into the Marvel urge, kind of like they did with Let There Be Carnage, where it has to be funny and it has to be lighthearted.
Yeah.
And so the tone feels like, if we do a true, like, Jekyll and Hyde meets vampire narrative, it could be really creepy, but very cool, very insightful. And I think Jared Leto has the potential to pull that off.
Yeah. And I think you can even add in some of the elements of comedy, because, I mean, life has comedy in it, you know? And I feel like you can balance it well, but you just... Venom was, like, a lot of the things that were funny about Venom was just odd.
It leaned into the bizarre a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't want that for Morbius. I want, if we're gonna have the fun, lighthearted elements, like the Venom joke thing that he makes in the trailer.
Yeah, that was very
it's good.
good,
It's
right?
fun because, but it pulls it back a little bit when he's like, no, like I'm the. So, I think if we can do that, I think you'll have a good narrative, and I think it'll be. I'm looking forward to it. I liked the sound. I liked the music they picked for the trailer. Is what I was trying to say.
I'm excited to see how he becomes Morbius. I love those kind of, but I love it movies that have any elements of like exploring or going on some sort of adventure.
Well, and this is a character that we've never really seen a adaptation of, like, because even Venom, when he got his own movie, like, we had seen him in Spider-Man 3. Like, it wasn't the first time he had been around. Jared Leto has such a range to him.
Yeah.
He has played such diverse characters that I think it'll be fun to see both sides of him. Once again, to see both sides of him in this film will be exciting. I'm all for Sony taking these risks on these lesser-known characters and giving them screen time. Characters we've known about in the comics, who we've seen, but giving them a chance and letting them have some room to play around and to breathe and bring them into the universe. Because why not? They've got the characters, so let's use them, you know?
And I think it's awesome that they're leaning into something that could be so different tone-wise, like you said, from a lot of the other...
Anything else, in the MCU. There's a lot we can learn from horror movies. I'm not the biggest horror movie fan, but when I studied them in school, because I had a film teacher who was obsessed with horror movies, and we would study the elements of them, there's a lot you can learn from those movies, and if we incorporate them into just everyday, normal blockbusters.
And when they do it well, especially... almost like Hitchcock would do, you know, where it's not necessarily about being so in your face or so gory and all of this stuff. It's like when you can do it well enough that you have the fear of what you don't see, that's when I think you're doing it really well. So
one of my favorite examples of this is the trench scene in Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
When they go into the trench and you have that shot with like the flare and all the it's creepy, but it's very cool. Like
it looks awesome.
It looks cool and paints us in picture, as well as the scene where Doc Ock's like arms take control of him in Spider-Man 2, and they start like in the hospital. It's it's very horror-esque. It's very cool. Like you could take those elements, and we don't want obviously this to be another movie that's just painted over with the superhero movie lens, because it has the opportunity to be super unique and very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Morbius would be an interesting character outside of the comic book world, so I'm hoping that they're able to kind of do that. And although I think it'll be exciting to see it tie in, I hope that they don't need to do it too much for this movie to matter. That's
basically my thought. Yeah, if Morbius can really explore the duality of man and what makes an anti-hero and what is being a good guy, what is being a bad guy, something that I feel like Venom didn't explore as deeply.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great film, and I think Jared Leto's the right person for the job here, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well.
Any thoughts left in your head?
I mean, I hadn't thought as deeply about it on that, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Now we have thought about it as deeply. I watched the trailer like one time. These are just my thoughts about.
I'm with you though. I hope they really lean into what is good, and you have to be a good person to do good things, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm excited for. But anyways, comment down below. Let us know what you think.
Are you excited for Morbius? Are you going to go see it?
We're going to probably see it together opening night is my guess.
Probably, like we do most films. Yeah, like, comment, share, whatever. Do the things. Anyway, I've been Samuel.
And I've been Sam.
And welcome to the universe. Thanks for being here, and
we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.